So, as usual, we're gonna start by standing up. We're gonna always start at the top of the body and work our way down. So this evening, we're just gonna be starting with the neck. So we just want you to do some shoulder shrugs, up and down on your shoulder shrugs. Raising your shoulders right up to below your ears and then drop them all the way down. Feel like someone's pulling your hands down to the floor. Really just trying to release some of the tension that we might have gained during the day in our shoulders and our neck. And now changing it to shoulder rolls. So just really creating a nice big circle, as big as you can, with your shoulders. Really roll them forwards in front, squeezing the shoulder blades together as you bring them back round. Okay, and then we're just going to warm up the neck. So as you're standing there, keeping your shoulders nice and straight, you're just going to turn to look to the left and then turn and look to the right. And just feeling a nice little stretch down the side of your neck. I can literally feel it creaking actually as I take my neck left and right. Okay, and now into our neck stretch. So hands down by the side of your body. And just allow your ear to tilt towards your shoulder. And holding it there, you should feel a nice stretch all the way down the side of your neck. Yay. Kerry's in the house. Evening, Kerry. Thanks for joining. All we've done so far is some shoulder rolls, and we're onto our first neck stretch. And now onto the other side. So these ones are really important for you guys who have been working at a desk all day. And then just stretching to the other side. Or like me, who's been sitting on the sofa all day, saving lives again, another tough day. And lastly, to the other side. Okay, cool. Give your shoulders a little shake out. And we're going to go into our arm circles. So nice, big stretch with the arms all the way up past the ear and round behind you. Really feel like you're reaching up towards the ceiling to really pull your chest area out and take it back as far as you can. And then onto the other side, the other arm as well. Same thing, nice and slow. It's not about speed. It's just about really trying to open up your shoulder joint through its full range of movement. Okay, good. Now I want you to clasp your hands behind your back and straighten your arms if you can, just so it sticks your chest forward. It feels a nice stretch across the top of your chest and your shoulders. If you struggle to get your hands together, just grab yourselves a little towel. Here's one I prepared earlier. Holding it behind you. To be honest, if you haven't got a towel, t-shirt or anything handy, you could probably even use a pillow. Again, here is a pillow I prepared earlier. Some of you might recognize this amazing doggy here. But you can basically just hold on to that. Anything that makes it feel comfortable for you to get a nice stretch across the chest and your shoulders. Thank you to my beautiful assistant, Cody, for that. Okay, so now just a little bit of arm mobility. We're going to go into our rows. So Imagine that you are on a rowing machine and you're just going to do what we call a low row. So your arms are coming in bent to a 90-degree angle, squeezing the shoulder blades together as they brush past your side. So squeeze shoulder blades in, reach them forward. Squeeze them in and reach forward. We're really just trying to open up now our upper back, our neck and our shoulders for all those people that have been working hard all day. And now change it into a higher row. So now you're just bringing it up, still up to a 90-degree angle, as you can see, but just allowing your arms now to come up towards the chest. Same thing, reaching forwards and bringing it back. Only within your comfort zone though, nothing should be painful. So if you have got any shoulder injuries, neck injuries or impingements, just do what you feel comfortable with. Okay, good. And now we're going to go into our arm stretch. So arm comes across the body and we pull it in towards ourselves. Just feeling a stretch across the shoulders. Make sure you keep breathing nicely throughout your stretch. And then same again on the other arm. Bring your arm across your chest, across the front of you. And with the other hand, just pull it in towards you a little bit. If you want to accentuate the stretch, put your arm behind the shoulder and then just tuck it back so that your arm literally comes in under the neck. Should still be feeling the stretch across your shoulder. Okay, good. Just give your arms a little bit of a shake off. And we're now going to bring the hands clasped together at the front. A bend in the elbows. So keep your hands up at chest height, but make sure that your elbows are bent. And try and pull your fingers apart, but don't actually pull them apart. Just feel like you've got a stretch in your upper back, across the shoulder blades. Some nice deep breaths in and out. Just to really relax off those shoulders. Good. Then what I want you to do is kind of flip your hands around. So your palms are facing outwards and extend your arms so that they are straight. So now you've got your knuckles facing towards you. Your arms are straight. And you should feel a nice stretch across the top of your back. Good. Loosen it off. And we're now going to go into our side bend. So standing up nice and straight, we're simply just going to allow the hand to slide down towards the knee and feel a nice stretch on the other side. Back to the middle and down again. Again, only go within your own range of movement. The torso and the lower back might be quite a tight area, especially if you've got young kids that you spend picking up, putting down, pulling off from the ceiling. Each time we go each side, we should be able to feel that it gets either a little bit easier or we can go that little bit further. Okay, good. Now I'm just going to take this on a bit further. Hands now in front of you. And we're just going to do what we call our torso twists. So we're just really trying to twist around to almost look behind us, really. Allow your eyes to follow your hands. If you can see my feet, let me step back. So your feet are always pointing forwards. Your feet don't move, neither does your knees. It's from the hips upwards that you twist. And you spend a couple of seconds once you've twisted around to the furthest point you can go. Okay, good. And now just to warm ourselves up again a little bit, we're just going to go into our marching for 30 seconds. So we're just up and down on our feet. Really looking at bringing the knees up to a 90-degree angle as much as you can. You can see how I point my toes as well, which means I'm getting a bit of ankle flexion whilst I'm doing my marching as well. You can walk a couple of little steps forward, little steps back as well if you need. Good. And we're just going to look at opening up the hip joint a little bit. So what we're now going to do is ways one leg at a time, up and out, and then the other leg, raise it up, whoops, and out. Takes a little bit of balance in this one. So if you do need, you can always hold on to the side and just repeat the same leg. Again, just go within your own range of movement, but just feel like you're opening out that hip joint. And then unless you're doing it alternately, if you're holding on to something, then turn and do the other side as well. Don't know if you can hear that clicking. Mine's really clicking out. Okay. And then just to start stretching out, we're just going to step. In fact, I'm just going to bring this camera angle down a little bit. It might be easier for you to see. So we're just going to stand one foot in front of the other. And you're just going to bend the front leg whilst keeping the back leg straight. And what we want you to do is try and push the hips forwards. So you should be feeling a stretch up the top of your leg here. This is how it looks from the side view. You might feel it in the calf muscle, which is this muscle down here. But ideally what we want you to do is feel it in what we call your hip flexors at the top of your thigh. So really try and push your hips forwards and you should feel a bit of a stretch there. Again, if you feel like that is a little bit too much strain on your front knee, then just hold on to something, just support your weight, whether it be that you hold on to the side of a chair, your sofa, the wall, anything just so you can feel your hip flexor stretch. So it's sort of this area that you should feel. And just take it to the other side. So we just do a couple of 20-second stretches on each side. Okay, good. And now we're just going to go into our hip rotation. So standing with your feet just a little bit wider than hip width apart. And we're just going to be doing our hip circles. Start off with fairly small circles. Do 5 clockwise. We're then going to do 5 anti-clockwise. Warmed up. You might have lost me there for a couple of seconds. Apparently my connection was unstable for a moment, YouTube told me. So it's not just my hips that are a little bit unstable tonight, it's also my internet connection. Brilliant. Okay, good. So now we're going to go into our roll downs. I just need to change the angle a little bit so you can see me. So this is where basically we are just going to try and curl the spine as much as we can to go down towards the floor. It doesn't matter whether you touch the floor or not. So the first thing you do is standing up nice, straight and tall. Deep breath in, and then the chin goes to the chest on your out breath. Roll the shoulders forwards and let your arms hang loose in front. Tucking the tummy in. Feel like you're just curling your spine over, one vertebrae at a time, from the top vertebrae all the way down to the bottom, the tailbone. Keep your legs straight. And as you feel the pull, just allow yourself to hang with your arms nice and loose in front of you. If you feel the need to bend the legs, you've gone a little bit too far, so come up a bit. But just enjoy the hang when you get there. And then when you're ready, squeeze the bum to help bring you back up. Again, just stacking one vertebrae at a time on top of one another. So your back slowly curls back up to a straight position. The shoulders roll back, the head comes up. Nice deep breath in again, and on the out breath, we roll down again, chin to chest. Roll the shoulders forwards. Tuck the tummy in. Feeling the stretch all the way down your spine. The lower you go, probably the more you will start to feel the stretch go into your hamstrings. If you can reach the floor, Blue Peter badge for you. Well done. And then when you're ready again, just squeezing the bum cheeks together, your glute muscle to help you come back up, curling the spine up, shoulders back, head up. And now slowly and comfortably, just come down onto the floor into a sitting position. Legs out in front. And we're just going to continue with that theme of our lower back and our hamstrings. So keep both legs straight out in front of you. Hands on your thighs. And just slowly walk your hands towards your feet. Keeping your knees and your feet together. So you get very individual as to how far you will be able to lean forward. Sometimes even for some people just sitting in this position, you will feel a hamstring stretch if they're particularly tight. Sometimes just rolling the shoulders forwards, tucking the head in. And other people will be able to lean forward a bit towards the toes. Either way, make sure you're keeping your shoulders and your arms relaxed. Keeping your feet pointing up. Knees on the floor. If you feel like your knees are raising up a little bit, you might have gone too far down, so just relax off a bit. And just take a nice deep breath in. And on the out breath, you might be able to take it a little bit more into the stretch. Slowly coming up. And now we're just going to flex and extend our toes. So just warming up the ankles and just getting our calf muscles activated. So point those tippy toes and then bring them back up towards you. Also just getting a bit of blood circulation as well, round into the toes. Okay, shaking the legs off. We're then going to go into a groin stretch. So now we want you to try and sit with your legs as far apart as you feel comfortable with. First of all, hands in the middle of the floor, and you're just going to walk them out. Keeping your feet pointing up towards the ceiling. Keeping your knees on the floor, your heels on the floor. And then just relaxing into that stretch. You should be feeling it on the inside of your legs. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Slowly walk up. And then take your hands onto one thigh and go down one leg. If you can reach your toes, you can accentuate the stretch a little bit by pulling them towards you. If you can't reach your toes, don't worry. Just flex them up towards yourself. Slowly walk it back up and then down to the other side. Okay. Now what we're going to do is keep one leg in the same place. Bend the other leg and bring the sole of your foot towards your straight leg. Opposite hand to the bent knee, on the bent knee. The other arm up tall above your head and then lean towards the straight leg. Turn to look at your hand up in the air, and you should feel a nice stretch all the way down the side of your back. Bum is still flat on the floor. Then slowly relax it off and switch legs. So the other leg now is sticking out. The other leg bends. The sole of your foot is now next to the knee of your straight leg. Opposite hand to opposite knee. Arm up and reach across. You can turn to look at that arm up in the air to accentuate the stretch. And again, it should now feel nicely all down the other side of your body. Just taking some nice deep breaths to allow myself to relax into the stretch. Good, and then relax up. Now what we want you to do is have your legs bent, but with your feet flat on the floor, and allow yourself to lie back so that your head and your shoulders are flat on the floor and your arms are out stretched. Keeping your knees and your feet together, just allow your legs, your hips to roll, and take your knees out to the side. If they can touch the floor, brilliant. Just take them as much as you feel you can to feel a nice stretch all the way down the side of your body. And then slowly roll so it comes back to the middle, and allow them to drop to the other side. Have your head rolling the opposite way to your knees, but make sure it stays relaxed on the floor. And with whatever speed you feel comfortable with, just slowly rotating to one side and then the other. And suggest a nice deep breath when you're there. And then just rolling it round to the other side. Good. Couple more on each side. Okay, good. You're now going to straighten one leg, bend the other knee, and try and pull it into you. If you need to grab a towel or anything, just loop that round the top of your knee and just really feel like you're pulling the knee into your chest, and then change legs. So that leg now goes straight out in front. Other leg comes up and pull it in. And then changing again. And again. Okay, now rolling onto either your side or your tummy, whatever you feel comfortable with, and coming up for a quad stretch. So you're trying to reach the back of your heel so that you can pull it in towards your bum. You can do this lying on your side or lying on your front. And again, grab a towel if you need to help pull your heel in towards your bum. If you're wearing trousers, grab your trouser leg. Or if you've got someone sitting on the sofa watching you do this, ask them very nicely to just gently push the foot for you. Okay. If you're not on your tummy, come onto your tummy and just come up onto your elbows. Stick the chest forwards. If you can, lengthen your arms. And if you want it even more so, you can bring your hands right up and just stretch out your abs. Slowly let it come back down. And then doing the other quad stretch. So now on the other side, lying on the other side or lying on your tummy again. And when you do this quad stretch, you're just trying to keep your knees together and push your hips forwards. Keep breathing throughout. Just enjoy the stretch, really. Lying on the floor after a hard day at work. Okay, rolling round and coming up onto your hands and your knees. Quite like this one. Just rolling off the back. Dropping it down. So pushing the shoulders up towards the ceiling, tucking the tummy in, tucking the head in, and then letting the tummy drop down, bum sticks out. Rounding it off towards the ceiling, tucking everything in, pushing up, and then relaxing as it all drops down. Couple more times. Good. Now, for those of you that can, come up onto one knee. And again, just push your hips forward and feel a nice stretch on your hip flexors. If you need to, grab yourselves a pillow just to support that knee a little bit. Change to the other side. If you feel you can't do this, then do it standing up. If you are on one knee, going for our gymnastics finish, tuck your toes in behind you and use that to push yourself up, standing up. And then, as always, our beautiful finish, arms up. You should feel yourself nice and long now. I can almost touch the ceiling. I'm so lengthened from that stretch. Well done, everybody. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining in. Hope you're all feeling good, feeling all